Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking something that feels like a giant puzzle, the highly coveted Google Professional Data Engineer certification, and breaking the whole thing down. Look, if you're an absolute beginner staring at the massive, honestly kind of intimidating world of cloud computing, you are in the exact right place. We're going to cut through all that heavy tech jargon and chart a super clear, step-by-step path for you to actually conquer this certification.
But real quick, before we get into the weeds, let's ask a pretty massive question. Who's actually building the infrastructure for the AI revolution? I mean, artificial intelligence and machine learning get all the flashy headlines right now, right? But here's the reality check. Absolutely none of that cool stuff works without the massive, perfectly structured data foundations built by skilled engineers. Before AI can think, it literally needs to be fed, and the people building the pipelines to feed it, they're the real architects of the modern tech boom.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit 4 main stops. First, we'll look at the data engineering boom. Then we'll go inside the certification exam. Third, we'll walk through your 6-phase roadmap. And finally, we'll wrap up with career and salary horizons.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the data engineering boom, the absolute foundation of modern tech.
To wrap our heads around this boom, we really got to define the role itself. Think of a data engineer as the behind-the-scenes hero. They're the professionals who take messy, unorganized, raw data and forge it into crystal clear, usable information that organizations can actually use for decision-making. It's like taking total chaos and turning it into clean, flowing streams of insight. And why is this so crucial? Well, data has basically become digital gold. That's exactly why massive companies running on Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and AWS are practically begging for folks with these specific skills. They desperately need engineers who can build enterprise-grade data solutions, wrestle with big data, and support those flashy AI and machine learning projects. These engineers design the scalable cloud architectures that actually make data-driven business decisions possible. You're the bridge between just hoarding data and actually using it.
Moving right along to section 2, inside the certification exam. What exactly is the PDE?
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what Google actually tests you on. The exam is broken down into 5 major domains: designing data processing systems, data ingestion and processing, data storage, analytics and business intelligence, and finally, data operations and automation. Notice how broad that is? It tests absolutely everything. It's not just about writing code, it's about architecture, picking the right storage, setting up the analytics, and making sure the whole platform runs securely on autopilot. Now, to conquer those 5 domains, you have to know your toolkit. And we're talking about the heavy hitters here. BigQuery for your analytics, Dataflow for streaming, cloud storage, Bigtable, Spanner, Vertex AI for the machine learning side of things, and Looker. This certification validates truly hands-on, practical expertise. You've got to know exactly which of these specific tools to pull out of your tool belt for any given real-world scenario. So, what does exam day actually look like? Logistically, it's a 2-hour test with about 40 to 50 multiple choice or multiple select questions. You can take it online with remote proctoring or just go to a testing center, so it's totally accessible globally. It'll cost you $200 plus taxes, and the cert is valid for 2 years. But honestly, the best part? 0 prerequisites. None. That $200 exam fee is potentially the highest ROI investment you can make for your career, and the barrier to entry is completely in your own hands. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's the magic number? What score do I actually need to pass? Well, Google plays their cards pretty close to the chest, so the official passing score is a secret. But based on thousands of successful candidates, 80% is the target you want to hit. If you're consistently scoring 80% on your practice tests and you feel really solid making real-world architecture decisions, you are absolutely ready for the real thing.
All right, let's hit section 3, your 6-phase roadmap. This is how we go from absolute beginner to certified.
Think of this 9-month master plan like leveling up in a game before you face the final boss. You're going to spend the first 2 months in phase 1, just building your base stats with data fundamentals, learning things like SQL, databases, and ETL concepts. Then month 3 is phase 2, where you unlock Python for processing and automation. Phase 3 takes you through GCP fundamentals in month 4, getting a grip on networking and security. Once that base is solid, phase 4 is a deep 3-month dive into all those core GCP services we just talked about. Phase 5, month 8, is all hands-on labs, actually building the pipelines. And finally, phase 6, in month 9, is dedicated entirely to crushing those practice exams. So build your base stats first, then layer on the cloud magic.
And while you're grinding through that timeline, there are some really great milestones you can hit along the way. Your recommended path looks like this. First, obviously, build those SQL, Python, and data analytics fundamentals. Then, go ahead and snag the Google Cloud Digital Leader exam. After that, step up to the Associate Cloud Engineer exam. By grabbing those foundational and associate certificates first, you're actively building the muscle and honestly the confidence needed to finally conquer that heavy-duty professional data engineer credential.
And that brings us to Section 4, Career and Salary Horizons. Let's talk about the ultimate reward. So, let's look at the massive payoff waiting for you at the finish line. Earning that PDE badge is like unlocking a whole new tier of career options. You aren't just limited to a standard data engineer track anymore. You could pivot into becoming a big data engineer, a cloud solutions architect, an analytics and BI engineer, or even an AI infrastructure engineer. These are literally some of the most impressive, highly sought after, and, let's be real, highly compensated job titles in tech today. You become the absolute linchpin for cloud computing and AI.
And the demand here? It's practically universal. We're talking banking, healthcare, telecom, retail, e-commerce, government, you name it, they're hiring. But why is it so widespread? It's simple. Every single modern machine learning, analytics, or BI project lives or dies by its data infrastructure. These massive industries simply cannot scale their modern tech ambitions without you. It's really that straightforward.
So, there you have it. We've decoded the exam, we've explored the domains, and we've laid out your 9-month blueprint. The path is crystal clear and right there in front of you. So the only question left is, are you ready to build the future? I challenge you, stop passively watching, take action, and start phase 1 of your roadmap today. The data revolution is waiting for its next engineer. Catch you next time.
Thanks for watching.